My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. My name is Arin Lindauer, and today we're going to talk about, are you being gaslighted by your doctor? Okay, so this one may not get me the most fans. This one may not get me the most raves. And I'm certainly not here to blast every doctor out there. There are an amazing doctors out there. Hopefully you know one, maybe you are one. And so this is the bigger conversation of what I personally have experienced in my lifetime, and also the constant battle that I hear with women. Not only do I hear this in my DMs, by the thousands, I also hear it from my own clients. And so I've really turned to be an advocate for women to help them have better conversations with their doctors. And so this is, again, out of my own personal experiences that I have been through, and also just what I hear day in and day out, not only in my DMs with my clients. And so anyways, you have probably felt dismissed. You've probably felt misunderstood, misled when it comes to your hormones, your metabolism, and weight loss. And I want to help you understand what to do instead, because we truly lean on our doctors to solve a lot of our problems. And we need to talk about that. Nobody wants to say this out loud, but women are being gaslighted in doctors' offices every single day. I know I personally went through so much, post having our kids, not feeling right, understanding that I wasn't okay. Okay. And so there was a lot of things that I went through, from major hormonal shifts, that all I kept being told is, hey, here's an antidepressant and a big tap on the butt. You just had a baby. You're stressed out. You're tired. You haven't slept. And I was like, no, I'm pretty in tune with my body, and like what I feel is not right. And consequently, I ended up finding out that my thyroid was absolutely went from hyper to hypo. And I mean, hyper, you feel euphoric. You lose a ton of weight. Everybody high-fived me with how much weight I had lost. But my hair was falling out. My nails were breaking, where I had never had that before. And then, long story short, when I went hypo, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was super depressed feeling. I was like, oh my God, am I struggling again? And it was just this roller coaster of emotions, and in and out of multiple doctors' offices, to the point that I had a doctor say, well, you're just shopping docs, aren't you? You're just shopping pills. And I was like, wait, what? I actually don't want to take any of these pills. Like, what? But when they prescribe you something and then you don't go fill it, it's on your account. And so I was like, I'm not taking any of this stuff that you have listed. So anyways, this message is for you if you've ever felt these feelings. If you've ever been told your labs are normal. I've heard that one a million times. Arin, your labs are normal. You're fine, but something isn't right. This episode is for you. If you've had the labs drawn and you've been told everything is normal, and you're not crazy, you're not lazy, you don't lack willpower, you've just been looking for answers, quite frankly, in the wrong place. We tend to go to our doctors, and especially now in the height of the GLP-1, is we're going to our doctors asking them to help us lose weight, when in reality, honestly, that's not what they're there for. So the gaslighting problem is, how many women between 35 and 40 are just constantly dismissed? And it's probably a wider range of ages, but I feel for myself personally, this was really the time and space for me. And we're constantly dismissed when we bring up the fatigue, the weight gain, the brain fog, low libido, mood swings. I mean, God, I had no clue that what I felt on birth control was not normal. I thought what I was feeling was normal. And every time I would go to my gynecologist every single year, she would say, "Oh, you're fine. Oh, yeah, that's totally normal." And it wasn't. I had no sex drive. I was having night sweats, and I was basically in a self-induced menopause in my 40s, low 40s. Not cool. And so common things that I would hear is, "Oh, Arin, you're just stressed. You've got young kids. You run a business. Oh, it's the pandemic. This is just part of getting older." Or, "You know what? You just need to eat less and move a little bit more, and you'll get your body composition down." Or how about this? "Your labs are fine." I have been told that 100 times. Your labs are fine. Not quite 100, but it just feels like that. And so then all this does is this sends us on this emotional roller coaster because we feel not heard, we feel unseen, we feel like we're crazy. Honestly, that's where my head went. I felt very, very crazy. Like, man, okay, do I want something to be wrong with me? No, of course not. But on the flip side, I just felt crazy because nothing was making sense, but I knew that my body didn't feel right. So you're not crazy, but most likely the hormones are not aligned. And at least that was the case in my personal situation. And so this is something I want to hammer home for every woman listening to this is what your doctor was and wasn't trained to do. So again, this is not to slam any of our medical professionals. I have the utmost respect, but here's the deal. Most physicians receive 1, maybe 2 nutrition classes in their entire medical training. 1, maybe 2 nutrition classes, okay? They receive zero education on progressive resistance training or anything with metabolic or metabolism science, okay? So this is where I have to speak this truth because you're going to your doctor for these things and they don't have the education in it. Their job is to diagnose disease, prescribe medicine, not to optimize your metabolism or teach you how to lift weights, okay? Now, this is, again, your general doctor, your OBGYNs. Now, they may have a personal interest in health and wellness, and maybe they take care of themselves really well. So, yeah, they may be a little more well-versed, but I just want to put this out there. Unless they have sought out additional training, this is not part of their curriculum. Or unless maybe they went to school specifically for, weight loss. There are doctors that do just that, but this is not who I'm talking about. This isn't you going to your doctor and not getting heard, okay? And they're not trained to treat they're trained to treat these symptoms, not the system, the overall system. So your doctor can run labs, of course, but I help you interpret what your body is saying through your feedback, through your energy, sleep, mood, hunger, recovery. I've actually gone to the extent of helping women have more educated conversations about their lab work with their doctor, with their provider. So really the missing link in all of this is your hormones, your muscle, and your metabolism. Your hormones control everything: mood, fat storage, hunger, sleep, recovery. And after 40, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, they do shift. And This is where making muscle the most protective asset you have. This is what's going to keep you from having 99% of these symptoms, is just simply having muscle on you. But I can appreciate as you're going through the journey, you feel the feels, you feel the bloating, you feel the spikes of estrogen, you feel the drops, and you kind of okay, am I okay? One minute we feel okay, the next minute we don't feel okay. And that unfortunately is part of this, and it is normal. Also, you can't just do more cardio. This is some of the worst advice I've ever heard women receive from docs is, oh, you just need to eat less and move more, right? This is the worst advice you can give a perimenopausal or menopausal woman, because truly what you actually need is you need to strength train with progressive overload. Okay. You need to have the protein focused nutrition, and that's on a daily basis. You need to sleep. Man, ladies listening to this, if you would just sleep and focus on your sleep. See, listen, this morning, the time of this recording, I did not sleep well last night for whatever reason. And I got into the gym, and man, my workout today sucked. I had no pump. And so what did I do? I just got through it. Did I use, exactly the weights that I used last week? No. And it's okay. I didn't berate myself. I didn't, do anything, but I just chalked it up like, hey girl, you didn't sleep very well last night. You had a lot of things on your mind, and it happens. And guess what? You still got the workout in, and it's all good. Also, supporting your hormones naturally is my personal preference before ever medicating unnecessarily. Because what I have seen with women is we will, go to our doctor, we'll talk about symptoms, they'll maybe get you on some different creams. Well, okay, if we haven't done lab work, okay, and specifically lab work on your 21st day of your cycle, we are just guessing, okay? And when you don't feel good, when you're not noticing changes, that's why, okay? You're just testing and trying, and it's probably one of the most frustrating things I watch women through. So your doctor shouldn't be your first line of defense. Your doctor is an amazing ally for medical issues, but they're not your coach for transformation, okay? Think of it like this. Your doctor is going to equal like the firefighter. They're going to put out a fire going on in your body. A coach is going to be your architect that helps you build the life, build the health, build the lifestyle that you actually want. And your average doctor doesn't have the time. Listen, if you have 7 to 15 minutes with patients and you're seeing 20 plus patients a day, they don't have time for your life story. Okay. And they're not going to take all the things into consideration that actually do matter in true transformation. So they don't have the time, they don't have the training to teach sustainable fat loss or hormone optimization or the identity change that I know is critical for you to see long-lasting results. So you need a professional who understands women's physiology, your mindset, your muscle mass, okay? You don't need another prescription. You need a plan. I have talked to woman after woman after woman. Arin, should I get on a GLP-1? And in some cases, I'm like, you know what? Yes, I do recommend when we've tried this, and this, we know your insulin. And I may say, hey girl, I don't blame you. Or if I know you're just super inflamed and you've been doing all the things, or you've had a hell of a stint of life, I may say, you know what, girl, this is temporary. Let's add this in. And so of course, I'm going to send you to your doctor equipped to have that conversation. Okay. That is not my lane. I don't sell these things. I think it's super unethical for people in my industry to be a part of different companies that are more of like an MLM type of network marketing, whatever you want to call it. I think these are things that should still be prescribed by the right people. And so then I've had multiple conversations with women where I've said, hey girl, you just need to do the things. And you don't need a GLP-1. Could you use one? You could, but here's the deal. If you just start doing X, Y, and Z, and then if we really go to town on why you keep yo-yoing, why you keep putting the 20 pounds back on, why you can't seem to get over this hump, why every time stress rolls around, you go to food, alcohol, sweets, whatever, right? That's where I'm saying, hey, you're not going to need it. We need to work through that stuff instead. So I truly want to empower you to truly take back your control. You are the CEO of your body, and your doctor works with you, okay? They are someone that you don't need to put up on this pedestal for weight loss. They're actually one of the worst places you can go for weight loss because, again, if they give you a GLP-1, they tap you on the butt and say, see you later, and tell you to dose. Listen, that doesn't always work for every woman. Standard dosing doesn't always work for every woman. And if your doctor isn't, clinically seeing this time and time again and taking a personal interest in this, they're going to prescribe it the way the manufacturer has put it out there. And that's not always the best case for everyone. And that's just because I've had enough clinical experience seeing my clients through this journey. So I want to help empower you to ask better questions, to seek second opinions, sometimes third, to learn how your hormones actually work and how you are super, super in control of these hormones. Stop outsourcing your health to someone who doesn't live in this body. You can't heal what you don't own. And this is your permission to slip, to not let your own health slip, okay? You don't have to keep playing this game. And I want to give you the responsibility and the ownership that you're the one that's in control, okay? We don't need to give the control to our doctor, our fate in our doctor, our fate whether or not they will prescribe a GLP-1 or not. I want you to take the control. You're the one that's in control. So if this hits home, it's because you've been dismissed for far too long. You deserve better. And I teach women how to balance your hormones, how to rebuild your metabolism, and finally feel strong again without needing all these prescriptions, okay? And again, I'm very, very big on, hey, does this make sense? Does this not? I'm also very big on saying, hey, girl, here's some areas that you may need some support. I just had a conversation with a client the other day, and I said to her, hey, I really think you would benefit from getting your hormones checked. When's the next time? Do you have a good relationship with your provider? Can we note all of your symptoms when you feel them, what your cycles have been like, so that she can go and have a very powerful conversation and just give your doc what you need versus going into your doctor kind of clamming up, feeling frustrated because you feel frustrated, but then you can't get out your frustration, right? I don't know what happens when we get in that room, and maybe we just don't have the time to explain everything. So I want you to DM me the word ready when you're done being told that you're fine, that your labs are normal, okay? Because you need a coach who is actually going to listen, who is then going to take you down the path to taking the utmost control and personal responsibility of your own results. So DM me the word ready on any socials, and I'd love to be your coach.